Hello, everyone. My name is Vernice, and this is my podcast, Speak Up. Hope you guys are all having a great week so far. Shout out to my new listeners out there. For those of you that don't know, the mission statement for this podcast is we'll use our voices to motivate people to overcome life's challenges through self love and respect. So, this is the place for self love and respect. Man, I hope you guys have had a great 2024. I know it's definitely been a journey. I know people have went through different challenges, different ups and downs. And I just kind of wanted to do like a nice little wrap up episode. It's been for the year. It's been a really crazy year for me, ups and downs, but I fought through it. And I'm grateful to be here to have this platform, be able to be on here to speak to everybody and just to share my story and share my wisdom and learn from you guys as well. Shout out to the amazing guests that I had all of 2024. I had some amazing names on here, guests on here that dropped so many gems. Shout out to the artists that I had, with the artist spotlights and the local businesses. It felt good. All the events I attended this year, just great. I'm just beyond grateful for everyone I've met this year, and I definitely want to take all my wisdom and things I've learned and networking and everything into 2025. So this will be the last episode of 2024. So I just wanted to like do a nice solo episode and speak to y'all since my previous episodes have been with guests. So yeah, as I said before, feel free to drop comments. If y'all have questions, comments, anything you want to add on, I always go back and read it. I love hearing from all of you guys. So yeah, tonight's episode is titled Where I'm Supposed to Be. So we will be talking about, enjoying the pace that you're on, staying in your lane, acknowledging this is where I'm supposed to be, not being ashamed of the battles that you fought, not being ashamed of the wisdom that you learned as well. So let's get into the AskUp question. So yes, tonight's AskUp question, if you are out there listening, please comment your answers. I love to read and hear what you guys have to say. The AskUp for tonight is, what is something in 2024 that you are proud of yourself for? So me personally, I would say, you know what, I'm proud that I kept fighting. I kept pushing through. I did lose a cousin this year. Rest her soul, rest her soul. And I had a lot of personal battles that I went through as well. But you know what, I kept pushing through, kept my faith in God, still strong. Still showed up for people that I love. Stayed in gratitude. Worked on complaining, worked on like limiting the amount of times I complain. Obviously I'm still work in progress with that, but little things like that, I'm so proud of myself because even though things happen, I did learn a lot. They do say diamonds are formed under pressure. So this was a year, I turned 30 this year, and 30 has taught me so much. There's a lot of pressure, put on me. But I'm really proud of how I overcame a lot of things and still pushing through it at that. But I want to remind you guys that your current moment isn't the final moment. Things can always get better. Even when things feel hard, feel down, keep pushing. Even when you don't feel like it, or if you feel like resting, rest. This year too taught me the importance of rest. I took a period where I really just slowed down. The signs were there that I needed to relax, to rest. And I was like, no, I'm okay. And like I said, I didn't realize I was on autopilot. And taking the time to do that, I feel like I have a lot of clarity, and like I don't feel guilty now if I'm like, ooh, I need to take a pause right here, or I need to slow down. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. So it was a lot of personal growth this year, and I'm grateful for it. The pain, it hurt, but you know what? I kept going, and I'm grateful for you guys and the support and all the messages I've received, and everybody who told me to keep going, or people who were saying that the show inspires them. You guys keep me motivated. You guys keep me going. So it's not easy coming on here, opening up about my own stuff, but you know what? There's something in me that wants, my spirit pushes me to do that, to speak life and the people speak light, be a light when I can, even when I don't see it in myself. This show allows me to re-see it, even if I'm not seeing it in my daily life. So I'm really grateful for that. So let's get into tonight's episode. So, let's talk about the importance of moving at your own pace. moving at your own pace is very important. I think we're oftentimes looking at someone else's pace. Oh, they did this in a year. I could have did this. I could have did that. And honestly, we can only do what we can do. And I know it sounds very cliche and weird to say that, but it's true. What is the rush? It's nothing wrong with setting goals or certain expectations, but don't be hard on yourself when things don't go as planned. Like I said, things are unplanned. Sometimes stuff just kind of happens. You didn't ask for it to happen. You know what's going to happen. There was going to be a certain boulder that was going to come in the way. So when you allow that to stop you from pushing for, allow that when you allow that to allow yourself to feel discouraged, you're not going to want to continue on your journey. And I've been learning the power of like silencing that self doubt. It creeps in a lot, but I've been looking at a lot of content on IG that actually talks about self doubt and silencing that. I have my doubts. I have things that I go through. I saw a post where this young lady was talking about how, you know, don't let, you can't let looking weird on social media stop you from going after what you want. When by looking weird, she meant like posting a lot of content. Because yeah, especially when you're building your page, it's like, wow, posting all this stuff, no one's seeing it. But she was saying how one day, you put all that work in, it's gonna be a time where it does grow, and it's like, oh, I'm so proud of you, blah blah blah. But you ended up accomplishing it because you put the awkward work in. And I think sometimes, we care so much about what other people think, or it's like, oh, I'm doing all this work and nothing's happening, that we slow down and we just stop. And it's like, no, at the end of the day, that's where the grind is important. When it's you kind of sometimes you are the only one doing it. I must say this too. I feel like this was one of my most isolated years. I did spend a lot of time alone this year, really like digging deep within, a lot of time with God, and it's what I needed. I learned, sometimes you're gonna have seasons like that where it's like you don't have a lot of people around you. It's not that you don't have a lot of friends or a lot of people that don't care about you, but sometimes some seasons do require isolation. It doesn't mean it's depression or nothing like that. Sometimes it's like really you just tapping in with yourself, reflecting on old habits, reflecting on old people that you can surround yourself with, and really realizing what's for me and what isn't, and really being clear about your intentions. I think when I say what's the rush, that is something to think about. When we're rushing, we're not thinking about why we're rushing. We're just kind of like doing it. But when you actually take your time, you can think like, oh, is this the right way to do? Is this really what I want? I mean, I did an episode on this, but how many times have we rushed ourselves or went super fast into the wrong direction? But I learned when you kind of take it smooth and easy, you have time to think, okay, is this a turn I should take? Actually, I might take this direction instead. And you can really listen to yourself and hear your intentions. So that's something I definitely want to put out there. And also acknowledge the battles that you fought and got through in 2024. Yes, there's plenty of things that, yeah, we probably didn't accomplish. You're like, damn, I should have, I wish I would have got this done, blah, blah, blah. But what did you get through? What did you accomplish? Pat yourself on the back for that, because guess what? That's going to give you the momentum to go into 2025 and go after, okay, I learned from this. This is what I got. But you're taking all that with you now into the next year. Like I said, we don't know where life's going to take us. And that's the thing. I've been learning the beauty of this present moment. You don't get this present moment back. And this is the most powerful moment that you have is right now. The past is the past. The future is, you don't even know what's going on. But like, if we're spending so much time anxious about the future, you're going to let this moment pass you by where you have the most control. If we're just living in the past, again, you're letting this moment pass you by because you're so worried about, you're so stuck back there when so much is happening in front of you. So it's very important, and I just really learned to really slow down this year and just like kind of like, allow things to happen, learning to attract, learning to let things align. Things can align if you're forcing it, but if you're letting things fall into place, it's going to naturally fall into place. And embrace the fact that you got through it. Like I said, we can be all da da da, but it was so much that happened this year. And I think the fact you're getting through 2024, you're able to see another year, you're able to see the last month of 2024. That's a blessing in itself. And I just been learning to be more excited about the simple things. The simple things. It doesn't have to be these big extravagant things, and that's been actually bringing more joy to my day and my mental health, despite the battles that I fought this year. Like I said, there were a lot of battles, a lot of things I fought in private that I did not talk about. but I got through it. And I think a lot of it came from, really surrounding myself with the right people, having that isolation when needed, having that rest when needed, going at my own pace, slowing down, and really reflecting on what am I rushing on? What, and that's the thing. We evolve every day. I think sometimes, we think we're always changing. Our interests change, things that we want out of life. They change. And it's okay to like really adapt to that and really realize what is it. So let's get into the tweet up segment. See, I know I like to be on Twitter, X, whatever they call it. Something that I tweeted that goes with tonight's episode is in my own lane, exactly where I'm supposed to be. So it goes to say, like I was just saying, embrace your own lane, and you are exactly where you're supposed to be at this point. And I say that because in every moment that we're in, we are learning, we're growing, we're evolving. And you think of people who've reached a certain amount of success, right? People who built it from the ground up. They had to go through those hard moments to even get there, to even appreciate those heightened moments that they're experiencing. And I'm really learning to like have that grace. Like, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be. I'm in my lane. And again, when you try to be in somebody else's lane, you trying to do what they do, you're going to crash into a wall because that's the lane they're supposed to do. Their car is equipped for that journey. Your car isn't. Your car is equipped for the lane that you're supposed to be in. Your rearview mirror, all that. I mean, that's like driving on the road. You looking out the rearview mirror the whole ride. You're not going to see where you're going because you're so looking at something else. So all that goes together. And I've been learning the importance of being in competition with my previous self and not others. Well, who are we in competition with? Like, I want to be better than myself yesterday. I want to be better than myself 5 years ago. I want to heal the little girl. I want to heal, the me that didn't know better in my 20s. I want to make that person proud and show that person, that 22-year-old Vernisa, that things do get better. That okay, you're gonna learn from whatever battle you're going through at the moment. Actually, take that and then be a much more amazing woman as you get older. I want to progress. That's what I want to focus on. I don't want to focus on, well, this person is doing this, my other friend doing this. I'm supposed to be doing that. Because that's how you end up not being grateful for what you do have. And the whole time, somebody who got the life that you want probably is very admiring something that you pay no mind about in your own life. You know what I mean? So it's really real, and you just have to embrace your lane and where you're going. It is now time for the LifeUp segment. So LifeUp segment is where I take the topic and I relate it to a problem in today's world. So tonight's LifeUp is beating yourself up for not meeting your year-end goals, allowing not meeting unrealistic expectations to discourage you, and not giving yourself grace. These are huge ones. Like I said, I want to really amplify this on this episode because I know, especially with the economy, politics, everything that's been going on in the world right now, it's been crazy. And I know the world's been in total chaos. And I think it's very important that we build the relationship with ourselves, that we be kind to ourselves during this time. We give ourselves grace. A lot of things are out of our control. And unfortunately, and I think it's important to really work with what you got and do what you can do. And I'm big on work with what you got because that's all you have. And you have the ability to make that into more if you put your mind to it. And like I said, you spend all this time beating yourself up about not meeting certain goals. You're gonna take that same energy into the next year, and it's just gonna mess with you all the way. So why not give yourself grace and be like, you know what, a fresh start is coming. Let me focus on that. What can I do now with what I went through in last year, and I'm going into this year? It happens like that sometimes, and I'm learning we can't control everything. And you don't always know what's yet to come. So I just say this to say, please give yourself grace, give yourself love, give your friends grace, give your family grace. We're all works in progress. I must say too, like, I've seen sides of people that I love this year, because certain things they were going through, and I had to learn to not take it personal because it's like we all got a battle we're fighting internally somewhere. And I just wanted to have grace with us. Even I appreciate the people who had grace with me through certain periods of myself this year, going through certain stages and going through grief. And there were different parts of me I didn't recognize this year, but I have to give myself grace for that as well too, And I'm proud because when I feel like when I took that time to really rest, like I took this, I don't even know how long ago I took this time. I just rested and it felt amazing. I love that I wasn't mad at myself. And it really shows the growth I've had with the relationship with me, because if this was me like 2 years ago taking a time to rest, whatever, I would have been like kind of mad at myself. Like, oh, I could have been doing this. Why didn't I do that? Da, da, da. It's okay. And I feel like now that I gave that to myself, I'm like, okay, I can do this. So I just want to say that, that's how we fix this. Give yourself grace and start fresh and going into 2025 with fresh energy so you're not beating yourself up. It is now time for the drink up segment. If you're out there listening, please pull out some water and drink some water. And I have a water fact for tonight. Tonight's drink up water fact is: water is vital for the health of your nervous system because it helps your brain function and nerves transmit signals efficiently, according to Google AI. Shout out to that. That'd be helping me find everything. But drink your water. I know it's getting colder. I always say this, but drink your water. Stay hydrated. And it's really good for your nervous system. And then lately, I've been really working on regulating my nervous system, like learning to calm down, do what I need to do. And hey, water is adding to that. So please drink your water. I think it's bomb to drink water too when you are feeling anxious. You catch yourself rushing. It's like, hold on, let me just take a sip of water and calm down. Like, have y'all ever experienced that? Comment if you need to. Like, you're kind of on the go, but you pause and took a sip of water, and it's like, ooh, okay, now I can think. So sometimes I allow myself to do that when I see my brain is all over the place. So yeah, drink your water. Now back to the episode. There's nothing wrong with starting over with the whole new plan. I think, we're programmed that there's only one direction to get to where we're trying to go. And sometimes there's multiple directions. Sometimes there's a roadblock in the way and you have to take a detour and pivot. And I say this because we're all, like I said, we're always changing. Sometimes certain interests, sometimes we have people on a journey with us who aren't there no more. Things change and you have to be okay with that. I think, if you allow starting over to scare you, you're never going to get to where you're trying to go, because starting over is actually a part of the journey. I can't tell you in my 30 years of life how many times I didn't start it over, and had to pivot and just keep it pushing. But it's a part of life and we can't be afraid of that, and stop caring what people think. The whole time, like I said, people don't post all their errors on social media and times they had to start over, things they're currently battling. So it's like, even if you're in the public eye and people have to witness that about you, do what you got to do. Does it matter? Are they on their journey? Are they going through what you need? And then you didn't give up. And I think that's something you need to pat yourself on the back for, making a way. A lot of successful people, I've been to many seminars, I've been to many panels, and I've never been to one panel or seminar where the successful entrepreneur said everything just worked out. They started it, what they wanted, and it was just boop. They've always talked about times they had to start over, roadblocks that were on their journey. They had to go backwards sometimes and then revert, then go forward. So this is a part of it. And I feel like if there's something out there that you really want to do, don't be scared of the challenge, because it's everywhere. Anything that you try to do, whether you're starting a hair salon, you're starting a clothing brand, you're working a 9 to 5, there's a challenge in every single thing. And you have to just, think about it. If you're working a 9 to 5 right now, you're going to do what you got to do to get that check. And I think we have to have the same kind of mindset when it comes to our dreams, brands we're creating. In a day, you have to still pivot through even when things change or things get shaken up. So please don't be afraid of that. And trial and error is a part of the journey. There's going to be so many things that you try that fail. And they say the most successful people fail the most. And I really believe that, and I've seen it. So, I think every failure is just getting you closer actually to what you're meant to be doing. It is now time for the Poet Up segment. So y'all know I like to write poetry. So here's actually something new I wrote, but it goes with this keeps me accountable. So here's a quote or two from one of my poems. This is from my poem Night Air. After the sun goes down and the golden light that kissed my skin throughout the day takes a break from shining, I am now approached by that night air. Ooh, that night air. Conversations about God, because that night air allows me to feel his presence more. So this is actually a poem I'm not done with. I just started it, but I was like, let me share a nice little quote, because I want to be transparent with you guys on here too. I'm proud because I I had writer's block for the longest this year. Oh my goodness. Like I was looking back, I was like, ooh, I know I share poems on here, but some of those are ones I've already written, little quotes. And I had the biggest writer's block and I was getting frustrated with myself. But you know what? About a couple weeks ago, I wrote this poem. I didn't share it with you guys yet, but it came out amazing. And I wrote it in a very quick amount of time. And I was very proud of myself. It actually made me tear up because despite everything I've been through this year, I was just happy I was able to write again. And writing taught me patience. You're gonna have times when you feel like writing, you're like, oh, I got this. But then you're gonna have times where it's just not coming out. It doesn't mean you give up on the craft of it. And I'm proud of myself for not giving up on that because I was like, dang, do I not know how to write anymore? But no, there was just blockage. And guess what I needed? Rest. I needed time away. All that stuff helped me be able to, tap back into my creative side and heal that again. So I'm very proud. I'm just grateful to share that with you guys on here. But yeah, let's get back to the episode. It is now time for the show up segment. So this is the show up segment. How did I show up for myself this week? If you're out there listening, please comment. How did you show up for yourself this week? I would love to know. I showed up for myself this week by showing my light. Like I said, this has been a crazy year for me. And I'm really starting to feel way more like myself. So I just kind of been in this energy of just being back, like unapologetically happy, really like just shining it bright, despite it all. And yeah, that's how I showed up for myself this week. And I've been feeling great. And we just gonna work with it, take everything day by day. But please comment, how did you show up for yourself this week? I would love to go back and read that. And I want to say this too: embrace every chapter of your journey, the good, the bad, and even the ugly parts. That's all a part of the journey. It's going to be a testimony one day. Our challenges, they are testimonies, because like I said, when it does get better, it's like, wow, you can look back like I went through this, and you never know who you're inspiring with your story. You never know who needs to hear certain words that you have to say. Say it. If it's heavy in your heart, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I was like, I was sitting here like, oh, I did it. I did a bunch of episodes this year. Should I just go ahead and start my break from not doing, and come back with episodes in 2025? But something was heavy on my heart to do tonight's episode. I was like, no, I have something to say. I'm gonna record. I feel like I haven't been on here intimately with you guys in a minute, just a one-on-one episode. So I was called to be on here, and I'm gonna do it. So I don't know where I was going. I just lost my train of thought. Oh yeah. But yeah, embrace your journey. So the ugly should be talked about as well, just like the great moments, and embrace your happy moments too. I'll talk about this a lot too, because we give our sad moments a lot of time and our anger, but embrace that happiness too when it comes in. So all this is a part of your book. This is your chapter. And there is a gift in every chapter, even the bad ones, because even if it's a challenge, you learned something from it. It made you a lot stronger. It's a part of your testimony. I learned to look for the gratitude in things. What was good about it. Yes, things are. I'm not saying I don't act like things aren't good, because yeah, sometimes stuff is just effed up. But take what you can from it, and when you get to the better chapters, you can really embrace the happy moments, if that makes sense. It is now time for the wrap-up segment. This is the wrap-up segment. So how does this relate to self-love? Self-love is loving yourself enough to go at your own pace, to embrace the journey, to not rush, to better yourself every day, to work on the relationship with yourself. I know I can't emphasize this much more to y'all. Like I have to do this every time. So just love on yourself, work on your journey, work on you. I think the more we all pour into ourselves and work on that, makes the world better. Like in my opinion, I really believe that. You know what I mean? Because think about a lot of problems we all deal with. A lot of it sometimes is just other people just dealing with something within ourselves that wasn't right, that made us perceive something a certain way. So it's just important to constantly pour into ourselves and just figure out who we are. And remember, y'all, pat yourself on the back for the progress you made this year. We've all came a long way. You are worthy of things going well. You're worthy of being celebrated. Celebrate that win, even if it's a small win. You deserve it, and you overcame something to get that win. Take the things that you learned into 2025. Like, don't let the challenges go in vain. Like, it happened. Okay, take that wisdom with you. Take some fresh energy with you. Don't go into 2025 mad at yourself. How many times have we started a year kind of frustrated because it was like, wow, I could have did this last year. you taking that in and you already start setting the tone. Set the tone with something fresh. And remember, it will all fall into place. I appreciate y'all tuning in to all my episodes in 2024. Shout out to my amazing guests that I had in 2024. Make sure y'all follow SpeakUpJV at SpeakUpJV on Instagram and on Twitter. My personal is at Vernisa. I love you guys so much. Thank y'all for everything. I will be back with new episodes in 2025 with some dope interviews. Like, I already got some stuff lined up for y'all. But y'all take care. I hope y'all have a happy New Year, a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, all of it. I love y'all and see y'all next year. Take care.